Welcome to a portal and an invitation to a space where we can talk about fear and talk about the ways that maybe it's holding us back, maybe debilitating ourselves, or even just denying that inner voice and that inner knowing to fully live a life without shame, without judgment, and to follow ourselves, to lean into our intuition, into freedom, and into love. I want to mention that fear isn't anything to feel ashamed about. Fear has actually served us and our egos for a long time, and just being able to survive. And I want to bring up this mechanism of fear in our minds and of death, because ultimately any fear that we have is linked to the fear of dying and how attached we can be to this vessel, this body, what happens to us, and pain and trauma, and just being able to survive and to live. However, I think that there's a space where we can hold and feel this trauma and not be afraid to heal and be afraid to find ourselves and be free. But it takes some navigation. How do we work with fear? How do we feel fear without getting spiraled and sucked into it? And I think such a beautiful place to start is just bringing that awareness to the emotion of fear and being able to hold this fear in our space without repressing it. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to have had things that have hurt us and have shut us down and created pain in us that wasn't ours. Because we all started as children, as babies, open-hearted, loving, connected to ourselves, connected to source. And over time, sometimes we pick up the programming of fear of our mother, of our father, of the environment that we were in, and we learn that the world is an unsafe place. And a lot of us are just trying to find a place of safety and become reconnected to love again. And so if fear comes up, that's okay. It's okay to have fear. It's okay to feel that intensity sometimes. That's a part of healing. That's a part of being human. And this message isn't to shut that down, but so often we can come into a space where fear is the only thing that we know, and our comfort is the only thing that we know, and how that programming of how we experience the world, we hold on to it. We hold on out of even more fear. And this is when our fear can override and start decreasing our experience of life. And we all deserve to feel free and to feel love and to be able to let go of those narratives, those limiting beliefs, those programmings, those wounds, and really set ourselves free. Because at some point, if we take that all on, that's not even a part of us. We don't have to carry that anymore. And what is on the other side of when we're able to let go? And what does even letting go mean? Because when people would say this, for me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna let go. And I fell into a lot of cycles of really shaming myself and thinking that there was something wrong with me when fear comes up, or that scarcity. And I had a lot of fear of just being vulnerable or even talking about where I'm at with people. And that ultimately disconnects me from, yes, myself, because I'm saying that there's something wrong with me, and then other humans. And so fear can come in there. Fear of opening our hearts up to any kind of love, even when we're in periods of grief. The fear of, will life ever be good again? Will someone hold me in this space? And the reason that I felt called to just kind of talking about this is because I've been able to recognize my own fear and going throughout my journey as I'm preparing to open up to my next chapter. And for so long, I feel like first of all, I had to fit myself into a way of being of life that wasn't authentic to me. And what I mean by that is having parents as very strong business, money-minded people for a long time with no emotional awareness. I definitely picked that up, and I started building a life that was based off of someone else's idea of what I should do. And that's really challenging to let go and to be open and vulnerable and start cracking and peeling back the onion layers of what has fully happened, especially growing up in a household with alcoholics and addicts and a lot of wounding. And so I think it's okay sometimes, before we can really listen to ourselves and what direction we want to go in life and find our purpose and all of these things, that it's okay to have a period to peel back those onion layers and be honest with what we've experienced and what we've navigated in life. And there's a place and time for that, and that takes us to be able to not be afraid of our shadows and of reliving some memories, of reliving some emotions, to fully give ourselves grace and to feel the truth of what has happened. And that brings in love for ourselves. And from that point, I feel like there's baby steps. Like for me, I had a lot of social anxiety, and it was a huge step for me to say hi to anyone. And there was a period of time in my life where I would go and push myself to just start saying hi to 3 people randomly and starting a conversation, even though I was terrified, because that fear was holding me back from just being weird and expressing myself and connecting with humans. And that's okay. That's okay, but I'm letting go of that. And there's been fear to really pursue my dreams as far as being an artist or making YouTube videos. Like, there's so many narratives rooted in fear that you can't do that. You cannot be an artist. You cannot do these things and create a life of income. But I see people doing this all the time, so why not me? And that has really shifted my life as far as being able to let go of jobs, to let go of really having that material gain right away, of letting go of really high up management, sales positions and different things. That's scary to kind of watch your life crumble. But what's even more scary to me is to not give myself my truth and to not experience a life that I really want to be experiencing. So I let go of that. I let go, and there's a new level of trust that has to come in communion with yourself, with source, with love, whatever that is, to open up doors and possibilities that we could never create. And that's happened. And so if I let fear dictate that, I would have never been experiencing a life that felt true to me. Or fear that if I don't have my own house, or if I'm living with people and friends, that I'm less than. Well, that's a story and a narrative. I love living with people. I love community. I love community living. And so I can let go of that narrative rather than sitting in shame and fear that I'm not doing enough. There can be fear of not wanting to leave a state because I'm afraid of my loved ones dying and not getting enough time. And I think that that's beautiful, because that means that I love them. But if I know that there is an inner calling for me to go somewhere, to let go of those attachments, to let go of that comfort. And I did this by van traveling and going out of country, and that taught me so many things and opened up my mind to other ways of life, other cultures. But I was terrified while doing it. And even though I took that leap, I was supported. There was people who found me, strangers, and I had people assist me get my van like started up again, and who gave me money, and just really beautiful moments that I could have never thought of. And it really took me to surrender and feel that fear and trust that something would come through for me and that I would be supported. There's fears that I'm working through now of relocating my life out of country and traveling. And I sat with grandmother ayahuasca. There was so much fear within that. But my one intention was, I don't want fear to dictate my life. And if I can't go for this thing when I'm feeling called, then how am I ever going to be able to take the leap in my dreams? And there's a part of ourselves that always knows, our higher self, our intuition, our heart, our inner knowing. And it knows where we're meant to be. It knows the path that would be of best service to us. It would guide us to who to talk to, of the friends that we could create. And when I spiral and I close down and I get into fear, all of that vanishes. It's not even possible anymore. And that's what I mean by letting go. Letting go of the stories, letting go of what isn't mine, letting go of what other people think, letting go to allow love and beauty to come through. And I don't want to deny that there's mechanics of things. Like for traveling, you need to figure out money and figure out what to bring, a backpack. There's a way to set ourselves up with safety moving into things, or tools to have harder communication and to be willing to learn. And even that is breaking free from fear, to be like, you know what? Maybe I don't know right now, but I'm open to learning. I'm open to growing. And that willingness, that energy, that openness is sometimes all that we need to have. And you know, from healing, there's definitely that suffering where we need to process, we need to feel sad, we need to get angry and release things that have been repressed that can be scary. And there's another kind of suffering where we've now ingrained this story, this narrative, this way of being, this embodiment so deeply that it's now our vibration. This is the space we operate from all the time. And sometimes all it takes to let go is to let go of the past, to let go of the judgments, let go of the story. And if we were to just release that, to forgive, to accept, to feel, then we can change our state of energy, of openness, of gratitude, of feeling that I am taken care of financially. If I wouldn't have done that, I do events, healing events, and I wouldn't be able to, one, speak in front of people. That was so uncomfortable for me for a while. And I wouldn't be able to share my gifts and create money and feel fulfilled in a life that I love. And it took me to face so much of that fear and to grow and to learn. And it's okay. It comes up. Sometimes even when I'm sharing music with people, I never used to sing or use my voice. And now I play guitar and I play in front of so many people. Just in my own energy. It doesn't matter if they like it, if they don't like it. I feel good singing. And it amazes me that I'm able to do that. And it's such a gift. Like, our gifts and our purpose start to come through when we come back to who we are. There's no material thing that we need. There's nothing that we need to change about that core essence of ourselves, but being ourselves in our true authentic space and remembering who we are can attract everything, all the blessings that we need. And so I really want to encourage people with this message that even if it's something as subtle as like, I think I need to go outside today, I need to go talk with someone, that we can feel afraid and love it and go talk with someone. If it's to go on a hike and we've never been physically active, that we can go do this hike and be gentle and conquer something and experience something. It doesn't always have to be something big, like, you know, these tower moments of losing a job, losing a relationship, although they will happen. Like, if we don't listen to ourselves for so long, the universe will lovingly tumble our whole reality down and it feels like we're in chaos. It's ultimately love, so that we can try to lean into this new version of ourselves because it wasn't for us, or to bring in a deeper sense of love, and that's okay. And it can come to those bigger ways of being. And as we shed this, we come home to ourselves, we're sharing ourselves, we build our capacity, we can listen to our inner knowing, because if we can do it in such the subtle, small ways, something as subtle as saying no when you want to say no, or saying what you want to do, or vocalizing something as subtle as that is what leads us to the bigger changes into finding ourselves. And just like I mentioned earlier, like feeling with people, and if something hurts and it comes back and we express that it doesn't work, then it's okay. That is not our place. What is not for us will be taken away so that we can find ourselves. We can lean into the life. We can know that what we dream of is possible, and it's already yours. It's already here if you're ready to claim it. So I really just wanted to share this as a reminder, even in the spaces of like feeling suicidal or having panic attacks or hallucinations, that fear that there's something wrong with us. It's okay, you know? It doesn't happen without a reason, and things maybe have happened to you, and that's a scary place to feel like you're crazy or spiraling. But it's okay, you've got this, and I believe in you. And keep feeling, keep shifting, keep claiming what is yours, and I love you. And if someone hasn't told you that it's possible, please know I'm telling you now that it is possible. I believe in you. And the only person that matters to claim that is you. For you to love yourself, for you to know that it's possible, for you to trust and listen to your heart, to that voice. It's all on the other side of fear. You've got this.